we're gonna start talking about my new EP soon. Please chat to me. Let me see if I can see you. Hi. Buyuk Malafat. Thank you. I'm gonna be talking about my new EP. My name is Psyberfairy. I am a musician and author and artist. And my new EP is called Hungry Ghost. And I want to tell you all about it. But first, let me just tell my friends to come hang out with me. Everyone's probably at work right now. Put the mic looks better over there. Hope it doesn't fall into the bathtub. Thank you, OD, for following. Hi friends, it's Psyberfairy. I'm in the bath. It's my favorite place to be. We're going to talk about my new EP and the inspiration for it. I'm going to get real deep today. So just come hang out on Twitch or watch the replay. I'll post it on YouTube. Okay, stop lurking. Actually fucking comment on my shit. Let's rise up my community, okay? I'm so mean. Okay, so what we gonna do today? We're gonna talk about my EP. Let's see if it looks good. Does that look good? How are y'all doing? Fun fact, this bikini belonged to one of my boyfriend's moms. It's like from the 80s. It's a little weird. It's like, yeah, you want to wear my mom's bikini? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna like that. Maybe I can see the chat better on my phone. Just 1 second. I'll be right back. Undead Mellow, thank you. I can usually see the chat better on my phone, so just 1 sec. I don't know why. Hey, Rur. See if that popped up. Okay, it works. Just keep it there too. Meow 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 meow. Okay. How y'all doing? Essentially, I'm making this video today because I'm putting out an EP called Hungry Ghost, and I'm a music producer. I produced it. We'll tell you about all the credits and stuff, but it just really means a lot to me. If you go and check it out, it's going to be on Spotify and everything. It's going to come out on November 19th, and it's an electronic album. It's like dancey, there's some rap. It's like cyberpunk. It's like punky, but it's also like alien. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, maybe I can just show you my Spotify here. Let me go to my page. Hey, oh my god, there's so many viewers now. Hi guys, chat to me. I don't know if I can see you. Is the chat working? Chat to me. Say hi so I can see, so I can say hello to you. Chat to me, so I know the chat's working. Chat to me, chat to me. Can you see that? Okay. We're like, be more entertaining. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you my Spotify. 1 second. This is my Spotify. As you can see, I'm still building it. Watching YouTube. These are some of my songs. I guess these are the ones that are popular right now. I've been producing music for a good while now, like 7 years, and I'm really, really excited about this this EP. So let's get into it. So essentially, I'm like so proper. I was putting out songs just like singles, and that's the way people do things now. People just put out singles and like promote them. But I love the idea of like a full album, or like this full journey, this full like sound journey that you can go on and like have this amazing like transformative experience. And I feel like sound has the ability to allow us to like time travel and astral travel to these other realms, and it's like such a powerful healing tool for me. And that's always why I've kind of made music. Well, I started making music like I was actually a little older. I've only been making it for 7 years, like kind of seriously. What was I saying? Yeah, but anyway, it's a powerful tool. It's awesome. And yeah, I was like, okay, well, hi, Quiz. I've heard of Death Grips. My friend listens to them quite a bit. So yeah, I was putting out these songs, and then my friend was like, oh, you should do a this course with me, this spiritual alchemy course. And I was like, okay, cool, that's what I need in my life right now. I'm like struggling, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, financially. Like I need fucking help. And I took this course, and I did get inspired from it. And I was like, maybe I should put all my songs into like make them into this experience, this alchemy experience, where you listen to the song and you go through each level of spiritual alchemy. And I was like, is this genius, or like what? You know? So the first song, and some of these songs are out on Spotify, so you can go listen to them. Let me know what you think. Not too many people know me. People know me more as a spiritual teacher. I basically ran like a spiritual alien cult in my 20s. But now I'm doing music. Yeah. So the first song is Throne of Skull and Bones, and it's a kind of a rock electronic song. And I put it for the level of Saturn and calcination. The first step in spiritual alchemy is calcination. So there's also metals associated to each step of spiritual alchemy. And lead is the metal for Saturn. And I when I was learning about this, it just helped me process things, you know, it helped me like put things into perspective. Lead's only weakness is fire. And so when we have these heavy emotions, we need to burn them, right? We need to get angry sometimes. We need to like get it out. If we stay too static and we just like lie in the bath all day and get high, we're not gonna grow, even though it's fun. So yeah, I was like, okay, this song is perfect for that because it's the fire element. And yeah, I just want to tell you about each song kind of, and just tell you about my inspiration. So when I wrote Throne of Skull and Bones, I was really depressed, and I had broken up with this person who I was in an abusive relationship. Now we can't just blame the abusers, because like it's always a reflection of us and the work we need to do and stuff. But yeah, sometimes you find yourself in an abusive relationship, and you're like, oh, how did I let this happen? And it's because we have these unprocessed traumas, and we, you know, when people abuse us and step over our boundaries, if we don't have those clear boundaries, sometimes our response is to like freeze or, you know, freak out and stuff like that. So I was really learning about all that and processing that. And I was really sad after splitting up with this person. Like I told him literally to like never speak to me again, like get out of my life. Like when you realize people are just using you, it's very heartbreaking, but it's all learning. Hi, Murky Magpie. Yeah, it is an interesting way to think of making music. I think so. And yeah, so I was like, fuck, this is awful. Like I don't want to use people. I don't want to be used. Like I want love. And you know, we learn through pain and stuff like that. But I was really sad and I didn't know what to do. I was really depressed, so I just wrote music, and I actually wrote Throne of Skull and Bones on guitar first, on acoustic guitar, and then I would play it on, this is really hot in here. I would play it on electric guitar, metal guitar, that's what I call it. Let's see what it looks like when I go like that. Is it look stupid when I go like that? Maybe I'll face you. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so I would play it on guitar, and the message behind the song is almost like finding your fire again and finding your power and using that fire to burn away the heaviness of, you know, trauma and the past and things like that, and it really did help me like get out of my depression. And then it turned into an electronic song. I don't know where I made the electronic song. I don't know where I was at. But yeah, I usually take my song. Sometimes I write songs on guitar and I'll take them into electronic, into the computer world. So that's how it happened with this, and I wanted to make it kind of like fast. I think I had broken up. Okay, I broke up with someone, and then I broke up with another person, like my life partner, and then I was living with my friend in her office basically, because I was like, okay, the situation I'm in isn't working. Like I would get back together with this person on and off, like my actual living life partner, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I couldn't process some trauma and pain. I didn't know how to. I was so angry about things, you know what I mean? So I was living in my friend's office, and that's where I think I made this song into an electronic song and recorded it. And recorded it on like yeah, totally. Recording it with emotion. Yeah, a lot of the stuff on the radio is like so dead, you know, but it's like really good production and stuff, and it's like really catchy, so everyone listens to it. And that's one thing I wanted to say too. Like I recorded some of my new songs on just like a podcast microphone, and they turned out better than my songs where I went to the studio and sang on like a $4,000 mic. A lot of producers will be like, oh, well, you need expensive equipment, come and use my expensive equipment, and it doesn't even turn out as well because they don't really know what you want. Only you know what you want. And maybe they don't really know, yeah, because they don't know what you want, they don't mix it right, or like you're uncomfortable, or maybe they just want to have sex with you. That happens. It's like, get this one guy who's like, oh, let's be in a band together, and I went to record a song with him, and then we were like getting all excited and stuff. Like I wrote a full song, we recorded it in his home studio. I'm not gonna say who it is, but pretty fucking low. I'm so angry. I'm like such a bitch right now. And then he has another band. He was busy and stuff, but I could feel something was off. But anyway, I wrote another song and I showed it to him. We didn't record it or anything. And I was like, hey, did you ever mix that first song? He just ignored me. But he just continued to lurk and watch my stories. So I eventually just blocked him because I was like, okay, he probably just wanted to have sex with me. Yeah, and they try to take over your work thinking they know right, and it's like, that's not my image of the song. Exactly. Every producer is a control freak. Every producer thinks they know best, and they don't. A lot of them have lots of skills. Everyone I've met is like, I'm a wizard. It's like, yeah, so. Yeah. You gotta find people who respect you, right? Who see you where you're at, and they go, like, they want to be professional. They don't want to have sex with you. They don't want to get anything out of you. They just want to make art. And it's actually been kind of incredibly difficult to find people like that. But as I gain more boundaries within myself, right? And like, I know who I am. I can see who this person is. So I'm not going to let someone walk on me. Like, it's been a very intriguing journey because, let's face it, like, I am an artist. I'm very sensitive. And, you know, deep down, I just want everyone to get along. I want to love people. Will be Spotify. Yes, this will be on Spotify on November 19th. So yeah, that's kind of the story of that song. It came from the fires, literally the fires of hell, that's what I would say. Like, the fires of hell, but that's where I was at. I'll talk about my collaborators after too, and who worked on the project, because some pretty cool people, a famous person actually, worked on, well, I don't know if he's famous, but like, kind of cool. Some people worked on the album to help me make it even better. The EP. Albums have to be like 8 tracks or more or something, so it's 7 tracks, so it's an EP. Everyone else corrects me. They're like, what are you, like 40 years old? No one puts out albums. Okay, so the first level, that was calcination. That is, the fire element, burning the darkness away. Cool. Peace. Thank you for watching Undead Mellow. Have fun. I'll check out your channel. So yeah, feel free to talk to me anytime, chat to me. I love answering questions. I love hanging out. Obviously, I'm in the bath right now. I'm just in my happy place. So the next level of alchemy and the next song on the EP, Hungry Ghost EP, is Soulmate. And this is the planet Jupiter. The first song was Saturn. And dissolution is the next step. And this is the element of water. So after you burn all the ashes away, you burn all those, you burn all those heavy emotions. Let's see if I can clean the camera a little bit. After you burn all those heavy emotions, what are you left with, right? You're left with ashes, and you need to wash that away. And so I was like, okay, well, what song fits into the water element? And I was like, oh, okay, Soulmate. Soulmate is a song that I channeled from the mermaid realms when I was like, I think I was like around, I just started making music. I was around 27, I think. And I had broken up with my long-term partner of 4 years, and I was living on my sister's couch. And there's bed bugs at one point. It was fucked up. Anyway. But it's funny because like I was running my spiritual community at the time, and I was like independent. But I still didn't know how to take care of myself very well. I still was like living online all the time. Anyway. And I loved making music. I loved like just getting high and drinking a little bit of wine and like just going on these shamanic journeys. I didn't have a lot of music theory. I had like none. I had like no equipment. I had little earbuds. I had no big speakers, just little computer ones. And I would get high mostly. Don't do drugs, kids, but cannabis is a medicine that people use. You guys know. It's not for everyone though. But that was my truth of the moment. And I had a desk and stuff like that, but I would sit on my couch and I would put my computer on this those little like spinning office chairs. I would put my computer there, my laptop there, and I would just like make my little music and just be sitting there with my little cup of wine and stuff. And I guess I didn't have a trained ear at the time because I didn't really understand mixing. I didn't really know what it was. I was just kind of experimenting, and I think a lot of it was samples. I didn't really have any MIDI controllers or synthesizers at this point, so it was basically all samples. And my voice. I used a lot of like my own voice to make the loops and things like that. And but it turned out to be one of my best songs, and I had someone remaster it. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, and I think this is a song that was. Ian Sellen, hello there. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about my Hungry Ghost EP. My name is Psyberfairy. It's out on November 19th. It was a song I wrote for my ex-fiance. I was really in love with him, and we couldn't see each other a lot because he lives in another province in Winnipeg. And I would like just write him songs to tell him I loved him and stuff. And I liked going on shamanic journeys with sound, and because I didn't have like the best ear, my ear wasn't trained like it is now, my voice wasn't trained like it is now, I would just kind of be listening with my heart, right? So we don't just listen with our ears, we also listen with our heart space. We listen with our heart space. It sounds like a Care Bear thing. Oh yeah, if you do want, let me just pull something up. If you are interested in learning singing and songwriting, music production, I have some courses online. Let me show you, because I put a lot of work into them. I'm not going to do a sales pitch, don't worry. You know what I watched last night on Netflix? Orgasm Inc. about this woman, Nicole. She had this cult, like it was like a sex spiritual cult, and she would like get everybody to like orgasm in front of people, and it turned into all this abuse. It's really worth watching. There's a lot of shady stuff that goes on in the spiritual communities and the new age like communities, or like feminine pussy power communities. It's like, okay, great, yes, we are all like these divine goddesses, but it, you know, it takes a lot of work to actually do the work to initiate yourself as a priestess. And like, you can't just be like, okay, yeah, I'm a fucking goddess now, give me money and stuff like that. It's like, you gotta put in the work. Hi, Blazing for 2001. What's your advice for unhealthy relationship? Well, I'll answer that in 1 minute. 1 second. Yeah, I wanted to just show you one thing, just in case anyone's interested, because I feel like it is a really good course. It's one of my most popular courses. Hopefully you can see that. Outfit check. Don't got one. This is my singing course. It's a songwriting course, and it's a spiritual channeling course. If you want to learn how to channel songs from the fairy realms, celestial alien realms, and the earth shamanic realms. And there's like, I teach Nada yoga in it. It's basically like how to hear sound with your heart, rather than just your ears, and really how to like find your authentic voice. Because when you claim your voice, you claim your will, and your power of manifestation increases. And it's just like, yeah, it's a good course if you want to check it out. I think it's on sale. So yeah, not going to talk about stuff anymore. I don't want to be salesy. Thank you, and pleasantly pleasant for following. Let's answer that question. What's your advice for a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship? Thank you, Blazing, for following. Okay, let's say you're in an unhealthy relationship. This is basically what this whole album is about. Like, letting go of toxic patterns and rising up stronger, healthy. Like, to be in a healthy relationship, you know, as a Libra, relationships are my main jam. Can you hear the plane? And they've been some of the hardest things for me. I mean, it's the hardest thing for everyone. Like, we're here to learn how to love, right? Through the mirror of other people. And it's not always easy, because people reflect our deepest, you know, desires and aversions about ourselves, and we fall in love with aspects of ourselves, and we hate aspects of ourselves. We project our pain onto people, and the key is to just do the work so we can just love, right? And I think we have to remember that other people, this is the whole theme of the album, so this is perfect. I'll be back. Essentially, like, we have to remember, essentially is my new word. We have to remember that people don't give us love. You know what I mean? We are the portal for love to come through. So if we are both present, if two people are both present, then source energy, then love can move through our hearts, and we can offer it to each other. And then we can build from there, like two beautiful trees. We can stand strongly together and just like spiral into heaven. But if we're like, no, you owe me something. You told me you were going to do this for me. Now I don't love you. That's conditional, right? That's not love. Moving on. So, yeah. And if you find you're in a relationship like that, like, let's say it is toxic or abusive, you have 3 options. This is from Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, I know. I'm still obviously going to share my spiritual advice. Thank you. Can't help it, but my music is just my focus, is how I'm sharing now. And my art and my words and stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, um, if you find that you're in a toxic relationship, Eckhart Tolle, he's a spiritual teacher. He just simplifies everything. I'm pretty sure he's an Arcturian starseed. He's like, okay, if you can't accept it, either you have to accept it, and if you can't, walk away or change it. So if you can't accept it, can you change it? Okay, well then leave. It's that simple. Like if you can't accept your reality, that's insanity. If you're resisting your own life, you're not going to grow. So sometimes, we experience so much pain, and it's like, well, how could I, I don't know what to do. So we just try to run from it, and we use drugs and things like that. But in the end, it's gonna come up. You know what I mean? It always comes up. So we're doing some yoga as well. Let's see. Oh my god, that was intense. Okay, let's get back to me. Just kidding. Okay, you like my cup? Isn't it cool? Dragon cup. There's a fantasy store in Vancouver, where I'm from, BC, in Canada. I'm Canadian. And they sell like fairy things and dragon things and magic books and spells. It's amazing. It's the best store on earth. It's called Dragon Space, one of them. And this is where I got this cup. It was a gift. It's so cool, right? It's like made of bones, dragon bones. Okay, so yeah, that's the story of that song. It's just like a love song. It's the energy for soulmate. And it's actually out right now on Spotify as well, but it's going to be released again in the EP. There are 3 unreleased songs, and then the other ones are, just a part of the collection. So yeah, that's an energy of water, and it helps us release. And the main process of the step of dissolution is crying. So when you're crying, you're actually you're actually performing alchemy. You're releasing those heavy emotions, right? We do this all the time, kind of unconsciously. So alchemy is a practice. What is it? We haven't talked about it. It's basically the practice of turning, metals into gold, but it's a metaphor for turning those harsh emotions into light, right? It's about spiritual evolution. So we can practice these things consciously and actually gain a lot of awareness and feel better. Isn't that what we want to do? We just want to feel good. We want to be able to be in the moment, be present, just be happy. I just want to spread good vibes. But I also want to know that I used to be in like the New Age community, and it was all just like love and light and don't express your darkness. And it's like, that's just so fake. We have a shadow. It's okay to love our shadow. It's okay to express rage sometimes. So yeah. It's a little silly now when I think about some of the spiritual concepts, but it was fun. Okay. So the next song is Wanna Go Fast. Maybe I should be playing these songs. You guys can look them up on Spotify and listen to them. Anyway. Or any music thing that you do, they're on YouTube and stuff like that too, and the lyrics are online. So yeah, the next song is "Wanna Go Fast." It is a rap, and it's kind of dark. But the next step in alchemy is separation, and the ruler is Mars. Thank you, ABC, for following. And Mars represents war. And when I wrote this song, the step in alchemy is, once you burn the darkness away and the ashes are flowing, you're crying away the ashes, now we have separation. So we need to see, this is good and this is bad. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. We're separating the gold from the dross, from the rubbish, right? And it's like, well, I don't want to be that way, or I don't want to be like that. These are my boundaries. I don't want someone to hurt me in this way. This is the respect I deserve. So I was really angry when I wrote this rap. And, thank you, Radikis. I'll keep this over here so then I'll see your chat here. Let's see if I can see. Okay. So I was really mad when I wrote this rap because I had been cheated on by someone, and I've kind of cheated on people before. I've always like told people. I've never like hidden it, or I've broken up with people and like, you know, been with other people right away, you know, but I've never consistently cheated on someone. I've always like told people what was going on and kind of just, yeah. I have been in situations where someone was cheating on someone with me, so that's shady, is probably my karma. Anyway, and that turned out horribly, but that's how you learn, being honest. So yeah, I was going out with this person. He lives in another city. This is when I was living in, this was kind of recent. This was like half a year ago. I was living at my friend's house in her office because I didn't know, I was struggling in life. And I was going out with this guy. I met him on Hinge, and he was in another city, and we had like hit it off right away. We had this like tantric connection. We were like, we just fell for each other, and obviously he just wanted to sleep with me, but I, you know, in my naivety was like, oh, it's love. And just opened my heart to him quite a lot, even though I knew he was kind of fucking with me, but he would always check in on me and be like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Like he was just playing me. He was playing me. But I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to come on too strong. Like this girl would always call him, but I didn't want to be like, oh, who are you sleeping with? You know what I mean? Like I could feel in my heart that something was off, but I was like, well, I don't want to come off too strong when we don't even know each other. I don't want to ruin it. We have all these like judgments. We say all these things to try to preserve the relationship, but when something's off, like something's off, you know it. And the way I look at it now with like love is like, you know, if someone's not ready to just love you, then what are they doing fucking you and using you, right? It's like, I don't do that to people. I love them. Like I treat them with respect. If someone doesn't get up in the morning and like be like, hey, do you want to make breakfast? Like, can I make you breakfast? Like treat me like I would them. That's not love. They're using you. And so it's hard to see that when you're in it. It's like it's like you're just so blinded by the chemicals, the love chemicals. You're like, oh, of course he's being nice to me. He's like, no, he's not. Anyway, so yeah, this person, if he had said like, okay, let's just be in an open relationship. We don't live in the same city. Obviously it's not going to work as much. Like I don't have as, that's funny. Boing. Obviously, you know, it's not going to work. We don't have enough time to see each other. Like, let's just stay in an open relationship. That would have been fine. That would have been our contract, right? But because he was kind of leading me on and he's saying like he's not sleeping with anybody, and then we got drunk one night and he said we became boyfriend and girlfriend. He denied it. He was like, oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, it was awful. Anyway, so I went over to his house and I knew something was off. And we were watching a movie, I found a hair in his bathroom. I confronted him and like got really upset and I slapped him in the face. And then he like basically sent me home and we never talked again. And I was really mad and I sent like 13 messages to him. He was just like, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything again. But it gets worse. Thank you, Amarilla Lolit. Amarillalit. That's cool. Yeah, so I'm so bitchy. But yeah. I'm feeling emotional and intense because, okay, sidebar, we'll get back to the point. But was the eclipse yesterday. Like, the Taurus blood moon eclipse conjunct Uranus. So that's like, whoa. The moon in Taurus. Let's see. That's like our self-worth, awakenings about our self-worth, harsh ones, like intense ones. Opposite the sun in Scorpio, next to Mercury and Venus, there's like a light on our heart and our mind, like a razor-like vision. Scorpio's like very intense, like a laser point sting. And it's like, okay, where are you lying to yourself? Where are you hiding from your duty and your mission to share your light in this world? What do you need to let go of? What needs to die? I left my job. I was working part-time at this job, and I was like, I can't be doing this anymore. Like, as much as I like serving, I'm not a servant. I'm a master. I need to work on my craft and share it with the world. And I'm just doing better in my life right now. Before, I was like struggling. I couldn't pay for my bills. I was like depressed and stuff like that. But we all go through that. The funny thing is like, that's why I hate working in real life, because like you're in like a hierarchical system and you can't escape it. It's like, oh, you're this, so you must be lesser. And it's like, no, we're all just people. But not everybody sees people spiritually. A lot of people just are surface level and they just judge you. It's like, well, you're that. Or people are like, well, you make me feel uncomfortable, so you must be, whatever. I don't know. I'm just ranting now, but like, I noticed that too. Like, my energy is strange. It is intense, and I'm not like loud and stuff at work. I'm like very like, I'm kind of quiet and like respectful. Mostly, I'm kind of weird, but I noticed that everyone will kind of treat me differently, respond to me differently, and I will change my personality to suit everybody. And as a shapeshifter, like, and someone with a moon in Pisces, people will just see what they want in me, or like see what they hate or desire, or I don't know. I'll just start channeling spirits and be the dragon they need to overcome sometimes. But I am kind of a strange person, I find, because I know I'm a powerful person. I know I have a lot of like to offer this world. I think I'm pretty humble. Like, I don't always tell people who I really am. I let them figure it out. And see if they can get past my barriers, I guess. I play games with people sometimes. And I find like, yeah, some people are ready to meet me because they're comfortable with themselves. And other people, they're not. And they're just not. So they start projecting shit onto me or start hating me because, yeah, I make them uncomfortable because I just do. I find that with women too. Like, I used to get really jealous of priestessy women who were like just so divine and in their divine feminine, flowing with magic and singing. Off the wagon, thank you. I used to get really jealous, and that's the witch wound, right? As women, we have this competition. It's like, well, if this other woman is in her power like this, and that's a threat to me. And it's like, no, you have that power too. I used to get really jealous of people, but now I just I'm like, I have my own power. I've worked hard to find that power and share it, and we all express it. But you can't control other people, and people don't automatically hate you just because they act weird around you or ignore you. Maybe it's just too much. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they're just processing things. Maybe they actually really love you, but they're just triggered and they don't know how to express. Maybe they're just scared of you. Like, people just, I don't know, people just kind of project their own stuff onto you. It has nothing to do with you. So at the end of the day, like, you have to know yourself. You have to know who you are. I mean, that's kind of silly because it's like, that's still kind of egotistical, but you have to know like what you stand for and see yourself beyond your labels of, your job and stuff like that, and like know the goodness inside of you. And when people are rude to you, just smile at them, just love them. That's what I try to do. It makes people even madder. It's like, hi. People are like, oh, you psycho. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing I've learned about my personality too. When I know people don't like me, I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. peace. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to make you like me. I don't care. Okay. Oh my god, that was a big sidebar. It was just a bit of a rant. Yeah. So yeah, I was really mad at this person who cheated on me. Or I guess he was sleeping with this person casually, but he wasn't telling me. And then like we'd become boyfriend and girlfriend, so he should have told me, right? And it just really pissed me off. It was processing karma, trauma, whatever. Anyway, I was also working at this job online. It was at like a call service, you know, like people would call in. I worked from home, which was great. And I made decent money, and I was like, this is fun, this is great, because I wasn't really doing as much of my spiritual courses and stuff. I was just focusing on my music, so I was like, okay, I need to supplement my life. Support my life. And people would call in. It was actually kind of cool. I was an agent. I had like a headset. It's kind of nerdy, but then anyway, people would call in, and it would be different. Boxstar, thank you. It would be different companies with emergencies, essentially, or like problems. And I would get calls from hospitals, and I have to redirect calls to like different hospitals. Sometimes I would get like Christosville, thank you. I would get calls from intense places like morgues or like funeral homes, or like, you know, a lot of like service companies, like HVAC stuff, or people with huge plumbing issues. And like, it wasn't just like, hey, can you send out a person here? People would complain to me about their life. Like, this thing is leaking and my children and the mold, and I would just listen to them sometimes. And then there was this one religious, people would call it this like church. It was like a cult. And sometimes people would just be like, they were looking for prayer. And I was like, okay, this is not, I mean, yeah, I'm a spiritual person, but it wasn't my job. I didn't know what the company stood for, right? I didn't want to start talking to them about religion and stuff like that. Sometimes they would just blab to me, and they were like, oh, my daughter is gone, and she's gone with the devil, and I would just listen to them. And obviously sometimes people were actually kind of like, you know, dealing with mental health issues. And sometimes I would hang up. But other times, oh my god, it looks so juicy. At other times, I would listen sometimes, and then sometimes I would hang up because it was just too much. Sometimes that people would literally like fight me and yell at me and like tell me that like horrible things. And as an empath, I was like, I cannot deal with this. I would be so overwhelmed with their pain. I would try to distance myself from it, but it was hard, right? Because they're right in your head. It's like all these voices in your head telling you all their problems. As much as I love to listen and serve and help, it was too much. I would literally start screaming. I would be like, fuck, at the top of my lungs. And I was living with children at this point. My friend has kids. They'd be eating dinner and they'd be like, oh, Christina's working again. Thanks, Holy Gargoyle. Thank you. The moon does look amazing tonight. Yes. Oh, is it nighttime where you are? That's so cool. Are you in the UK, right? It's a blood moon. It was the eclipse. And it lasted for 86 minutes. It's like the longest eclipse until 2029 or something like that. I can't remember. I read something like that. Super intense. Blow up a balloon until it pops. You know what? I'm actually afraid of that. I don't have a balloon either, but I could do that another time. I hate balloons popping. I hate it. It freaks me out. I think it's gonna go into my eye. It's like a little weird fear of mine. So I'm gonna pass. Thank you for the suggestion. Shine on. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, okay. I was working at a call center. It was messed up. People were yelling at me all the time. And I was just devastated from being cheated on, right? And it just was in a low place. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was broke. I wasn't feeding myself properly. My highlight in life was getting stoned at night and walking to Walmart and like getting chocolate. Walmart is lit at night. At 11 o'clock at night, Walmart is the place to be. Everyone else is stoned. Everyone's got their headphones on. Everyone's just like getting snacks. I was like, this is my hangout now. So pathetic. But it was just the closest thing to me. So So I was like, okay. And it was open, so I was like, okay, snack time, head there. Yeah. So I was devastated. I was in a low place. And very rude. But it's your karma. So anyway. If you're gonna say things like that, maybe keep it to private messaging so we don't have to disturb the other people. Okay. Or just not say anything at all. That's kind of rude. But whatever. Yeah. So I was devastated. I was working at a shitty job and I got sick. I don't know what it was. It wasn't COVID. I tested. I thought I had COVID, but apparently I never did. I think I just had really intense strep throat. And I don't know if that's what I had, but I didn't take antibiotics and it got so bad that I lost my voice. I was also really angry and like cursing this person. I tried to hold back, but I was just so fucking mad. So I think I kind of, cast a bad spell on myself. When you cast any negativity out, it just comes back to you. There's no point. You got to do the work on yourself to be better, to not let people in like that, right? Anyway, so it was a spiritual sickness as much as it was a physical sickness. It was like this purge and this cleanse, and I couldn't talk anymore. I lost my voice. I have never had that happen. It was almost like I was using my power in a bad way. My voice is my power. I know that. I've had to work very hard to find it again. I was so shy. I was so shy as a child. And it took me so long to find my voice and to get comfortable singing and sharing the light. Like, I was terrified of sharing my songs and everything. And now I'm just like, I don't know. My sister's like, yeah, you've done enough drugs, like just the right amount. It's like you just like don't care what people think anymore. I'm like, thanks, I guess. Anyway, I do take care of myself though. I do my best. Anyway, so I lost my voice. I could not talk. It was horrible. I was like, because it's my power, right? It's my gift, singing and stuff, and I just wanted to share. And I was lying in bed. I'm a YouTuber from Poland. Cool. Yeah. So what was I saying? I lost my voice completely. And it was shitty. I didn't know what to do. And I was lying in bed. Okay, I was lying in bed. Gotta put all the pieces together. Ready for a long story time. It's getting cold. We're gonna have to fill up the bath again. I was in for a long... mixing my words. I was lying in bed, I was stoned, and I suddenly heard this voice, like, not like a voice, but like, I started to kind of get the lyrics for a song, and I had already made like a beat, I think, like kind of like I wanted to make like a rap song, like a dark rap song, to kind of get out my emotions, and as much as I'm a spiritual person, I do like listening to like grimy, like rap music, like dark rap music, because it's just fun. It's like dirty and dark. It's just like, it's like a sexual energy. It's fun to kind of not stay there, but it's like fun to be there sometimes and like go to dances and stuff in certain moods. I like to play with all energies. Yes, so I was lying in bed, I was stoned, and I started channeling this like witch, or she came through, like, okay, there's this witch called Baba Yaga. She's like a very prominent figure in like, I guess, Eastern European kind of folklore. And people say she's like this evil witch, but I think she's more like a shaman who like fights off monsters. And she was kind of like helping me through she was like a spirit guide. She was helping me through this anger, and she was like kind of, yeah, it was like she was a spirit guide that came through, and she wanted to say some things, and I ended up writing this really dark song. Sometimes I like to write songs as kind of jokes or silly songs, and this song was like a really dark rap, and I wanted it to be really gangster, like about guns and like sex and like drugs and things like that, just kind of ridiculous, you know, like the rap songs, like just stupid fucking gangster songs, but I just wanted it to be that way, and I wanted to see what came out. And so I wrote this song about kind of like devouring someone with my pussy. And like, it's just dark. If you can look it up on YouTube, it's called Wanna Go Fast. And I have a friend from Instagram, his name's Lilith the Rapper. He's a rapper, he's a good rapper, and he wanted to work with me. So I was like, okay, you can rap on this track. And he did a pretty awesome rap for the song. And so, yeah, that's Mars. And it did help me get out my emotions. Is it a really dark song? Yes. Is it like, am I promoting love and light? Not necessarily, but the way I look at it, dark music sometimes it's cathartic. You know, it's like, it's a release. We're not just beings of light, we are beings of darkness. We do have rage, we do have joy, right? I just find it so fake when people are just love and light. Like, I love medicine music, I love spiritual music, but I don't just listen to that because I'm not just that way. And I don't think it's because I'm less evolved or anything. Like, I enjoy rap, I enjoy popular songs, I also enjoy like ayahuasca songs and like medicine music. I like it all, and I just felt like that was the right thing to do. And I also kind of wanted to test, because I feel like a lot of the most popular songs are satanic, right? They follow this kind of satanic program in that people are worshiping the ego, people are worshiping money, people are worshiping the physical, and I wanted to kind of show that. But it's like, how far are you going to go with your joke until you become it, right? So I kind of like cross that line sometimes. It's like, well, why am I doing this? What's my intention behind this? It was a cathartic release, and it was just, I was playing with it. I was playing with the energy. Anyway, so that's that. And the next song is How the Wind Blows. And the next step in alchemy, so the next step in the EP, Hungry Ghost, my name is Psyberfairy, it's coming out November 19th. The next step is conjunction. So after we burn all these heavy emotions, we wash the ashes away, we discover what to keep from the wreckage. Like, this is the gold, this is the treasure. Let's let go of all the garbage. How are we going to put this new knowledge, right? How are we going to put all the pieces together? How are we going to put ourselves together again? And so this is at the level of the heart. So the songs actually take you through the chakras as well as we go up the planets, which is, I don't know, it's fucking cold. One second. Clean my mouth. 1 second. Lafine, thank you for following. The comments are hilarious. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, so the next step is conjunction. We put ourselves together. We find our strength again. We move into the heart space. And when I was doing this course, this alchemy course I was taking when I was learning about this was like the most beautiful process. Learning to connect to your own heart, like learning to actually just listen to your heart, and like learning to just talk to your heart. Like, how much better would our lives be if we just spent time being like, hey, how are you feeling? What do you need? Are you okay? What is really going on? What do you really want? I think we lie to ourselves often, and we just need to come back to that space. It's kind of steamy. No, I haven't got a beach ball.
Do I need to get one to be on Twitch?
Maybe next time. So yeah, the next step is conjunction. Venus. The song is How the Wind Blows. I was in another kind of fucked up relationship. I wouldn't call this relationship abusive. The guy wasn't abusing me. He was just oblivious. You know, he was just lost in his own pain. One TJ, thank you. He was lost in his own pain, and he was depressed. He was like so obsessed with this ex-girlfriend who was living in Russia. He would not let go of her. You know what the most hilarious thing is? Kiab Aldi. We would watch Netflix, and he was still paying for his girlfriend's account, and he just wanted to take care of her. I'm like, she's living with her dad. Like, why don't you get her dad to pay for it, because she was going to school. And he was like, no, I want to do this. He was like such a simp. He was just like, he just wouldn't let go. He was a little bitch. Let's be honest. I've never met a weaker man in my life. Just kidding. That's so mean. But he was really powerful in other ways. Like, he was a musician, he was a guitarist, and I was like, oh, I thought he was just an amazing person, but deep down he was just really struggling. Yep, Liz, thank you. He was really struggling, and he was working out his mommy issues with me, probably, as most men do, as most women do too. God, my cunt level today is like 1,000%. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try to get back to the heart space. We're in the heart chakra now. Such a bitch today. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay. I hope it's entertaining. Zomi. Okay, you guys like my bitchiness. Hopefully it's real. Hopefully it's real, yo. So yeah. I was like, okay, this is the most hilarious thing ever. This is freaking hilarious. Hopefully you can enjoy my pain. Hopefully it turns into comedy for you. So I was like, okay, can you just, like, can you stop? Can you create your own Netflix? Like, hey, hi, Santique. Can you create your own, thank you for following. Can you create your own Netflix? Like, you don't have to be paying for her. She's not a child. Like, she has her family. And he wouldn't let it go. And we literally broke up over this. Like, obviously there was other things going on, but he just wouldn't let it go. Like, he was with me. I was his girlfriend, but he just wouldn't let go of this stupid thing. And I was like, okay, well, why don't you just change the name after? And he didn't even realize he could do that. So it's like, imagine this. So, pal, thank you. Like, every time we go, it was winter, so what are we gonna do? You watch movies, you stay inside, it's freezing, it's cold in Canada. Miss you, fishy. So cute, that username's so cute. I love it. Every time we would watch movies, we would see this girl's name. And it was like, whatever at first, but then it was like so annoying because he would talk about her. He would show me pictures of her, and I was like, you're not even with me. You're not even here. And the funny thing is like, he loved fairies. And that's what we kind of bonded over, because I'm a fairy, right? I'm a real fairy. He had all these statues of fairies, and he liked like fantasy stuff. But it's funny, it's like he couldn't. Oh, so bien, JP, thank you. He couldn't even see a real fairy when it was right in front of him. He just like, he was so oblivious. He was so in his own world and in his own pain. Maybe he had brain damage. I don't know, but I tried, and it pisses me off when people don't give me the respect and love that I don't give them, but it doesn't really have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with the level of consciousness that they're at. So we just have to like go like, fuck it, and move on. Um, Navitro, thank you. So, yeah, I was sad about this relationship. I wasn't necessarily sad about him. Hallelujah, cooks. Thank you. Because I wasn't necessarily like in love with him. I was just trying. I was almost just taking care of him at one point. I just wanted to make the relationship work. I wanted him to like me. I was trying to make things work, right? I bought him this really expensive dragon ring. It looked really cool from the same store I was talking about, the fantasy store in Vancouver. I got this cup at Dragon Space, and I just like because he liked fantasy and stuff. I was like, I thought we were bonding over that stuff, and I took him out, and I bought him dinners, and I like was just being like so kind. I didn't do that for other people, like, and he just ended up kind of abusing that and not respecting me. And he was just like, yeah, I need to go spend money on my tattoos. He was so fucking self-centered. He was a self-serving demon. Just kidding. That's where he was kind of at though. Maybe like had some demonic entities. Couldn't really like, he was having a hard time releasing them. He had a lot of spiritual work to do. Anyway, so I was getting over that and I was sad. And it wasn't just like I was sad about him. I was more so just processing trauma, childhood trauma. He brought up a lot of childhood trauma. So in a way, we actually helped each other as all of our enemies and our pain does. And I wrote this song called How the Wind Blows. It's on Spotify right now. It's going to be on my new EP, Hungry Ghost. Comes out November 19th. I'm going to keep doing little baby pitches until you guys fucking remember who I am. Yeah. I wrote it as a guitar song first. It was an acoustic song. And I liked it. And then I was making electronic songs. This was when I was living in the office space with my friend with her 2 kids. And I was like in a really fucked up space. This was before I got sick though. I lost my voice. I was like, oh, maybe I can put this acoustic song into this electronic song. And it worked out well. And I was like, oh, I want to make it kind of like 50s and retro, and that will be cool. And it just worked out. And I recorded it and stuff, and just from my home bedroom studio at the time. Let's be honest, I have a studio again, but yeah, I made some of these songs out of my bedroom. What can I say? Let's see. Yeah, I have performed it once in front of a crowd. That was really fun. It was really beautiful. There's really like an angelic quality to it. And you know, at the performance, okay, side note. During the war with the Ukraine and stuff like that, my Ukrainian friend was like, I'm putting on this concert to help me, you know, raise funds for charity and stuff like that. Do you want to sing? And so I sang. I'm not that great at guitar, like I'm still learning, but like I'm better at performing and producing and stuff like that. But I sang my guitar songs. I think people kind of liked it. Other people were like, you'll get better. It's like, fuck you. I could have just performed my songs, but I wanted to do guitar for some reason. I just wanted to prove that I could do it. It worked out okay. But I sang this one song, and there's all these really high notes in it, like these really angelic notes. Sometimes they just come forward. It's really interesting. Like the energy's right, and they just come forward. And I notice when I sing certain notes, people who have a lot of darkness inside them, they're like, ah. I was dating this person who cheated on me at the time. He was playing me for a goddamn fool. And I brought him to this event, and he was like, he had so much darkness within him. We were around all these spiritual people. He wouldn't sit on the floor. I was like, fucking sit on the floor. Be humble. And I was singing this spiritual kind of song called Heyoka. It's another song I have. And it's about this, it's a Native American myth. And it's about this like trickster spirit. And I was kind of telling the story of it. And he left the room because I think his mom was into like spirituality and cults and native stuff. And I think I just triggered him too. And he was, I don't know, when you have darkness inside of you, things trigger you and you don't like them. It's like the darkness doesn't like those higher pitched things or the spiritual vibes, or like, it's like, and he would be like, he told me, he was like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, those high notes, you should sing more low notes. And I was like, whatever, you fucking bitch. I didn't say bitch, but I was like, okay, that's your opinion. Obviously I did not take criticism that well. Very stubborn. But you gotta if you want to grow. Bearded abomination. Whoa, that's so good. What a great word. Great username. Um, so I hope you guys are enjoying my sass today. I'm not gonna answer the silly comments. If you want to actually leave me an intellectual comment or ask me a question that I like to answer, and not just tell me to take off my shirt and show my tits, then feel free. But yeah, I'm not gonna read those comments. Moving on. I do appreciate it though. I do appreciate it, the compliments. Okay, so let's get back to the story. Where was I? The guy who was like treating me like his mother and kind of, it was just sad, you know. Anyway, I wrote How the Wind Blows, kind of about that situation, turned it into an electronic song, and kind of performed a little bit. And yeah, oh, I did perform it too at an open mic in Vancouver. That was fun. It worked out okay. I think I forgot the lyrics at first, and I was like, yeah, it was funny. Let's see where we are here. Oh, and the music video. The music video is really good. Maybe I can just show part of it to you. I spent quite a lot of money on this music video. I hired an actor from Vancouver and some really great camera people to create this music video. And it's basically, I mean, it's about the themes from this album, right? It's about kind of recognizing that people can't love you all the time and they're just doing their best and you just gotta move on. Here, let me pull up the screen 1 second. Show us your tits! Anyway, I hope that you could hear the audio. I don't know if you could, but you might have heard a little bit of it on the mic. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you could hear the audio from the desktop, like if it came through well. Okay. 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 Where were we? Nonu. To November. Thank you for following. You guys are just following because I'm in a bikini. You're like not even listening to what I'm saying. My fine is working. Just kidding. Hopefully some of you are actual genuine music lovers. I just find that more people come to join and actually stick around if I'm in the bathtub. Just the world we live in. Okay. So yes, I wrote that song and it turned into like this epic video. It really was like this epic thing for me. I needed to get it out. I needed to prove that I could just do it. I think it's one of my best music videos. It turned out really well. Maybe not like story-wise, but it's visually like quite beautiful. Story-wise, I think All That Light is a great video. Like I had all my friends come and we did this big color dust fight. It was awesome. You should check that out on my YouTube. So yeah, the next step in alchemy and the next song on the Hungry Ghost EP coming out November 19th is Easy When You're High. This is Mercury, the planet Mercury. We're at the throat chakra now. And this is the step of alchemy called fermentation. Fermentation is like literally, it's like when you turn grapes into wine. You let things rot so they become something different. So you take everything you've learned, this new self you've created, and you test it. So we drink wine and we test our strength. We have the ability to get drunk and we reach these other levels of consciousness. And I wanted to make this song that was like really trippy, and I love psytrance. People love my psytrance. They tend to like request my psytrance DJ sets, and I was like, okay, well, I'll make a psytrance kind of song. Most of the music on the album is like kind of it's drum and bass, it's trance, psytrance, and rap. I don't know, it's just a mixture of things. Anyway, so yeah, what? Oh yeah, Easy When You're High. And since this is the level of Mercury and fermentation and trippiness and like, yeah, getting high essentially, or getting drunk essentially, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a very trippy song. And I actually had to think, I actually had to really think about where I was at when I wrote this. I don't even remember where I was. I think I'm after the office, I moved back into with my partner, my life partner who I'm with now, and I'm in my studio now. And I think I created it here, and it wasn't a song before. It wasn't like an acoustic or anything. It was just a song I produced. Synthesizers. I love the plugin Serum. If you're a producer, it's a really amazing plugin. You can just download a free trial or whatever. A really powerful plugin for bass if you want to have like epic bass or really intense synths. If you're making any kind of music, it's really great. I use Serum all the time. So there's a lot of that. I just use like a simple MIDI controller too, keyboard. Like you don't really need a lot to make music. And people will tell you you need a lot and you need to go into the studio and you need a huge budget. You don't. And people will make fun of you for making bedroom music. Fuck them. Like you can make amazing music with a laptop and like simple equipment, a simple synthesizer, and like at least a good pair of headphones or a good pair of speakers. Anyway, so yeah, I was in my studio and I was making this song, and I think I was kind of just processing. Is it kind of blurry? Is it kind of blurry? Wait 1 second. Is it kind of steamy? is a little steamy. So, yeah, I went back to my relationship and I've been working on that and we've been healing things and it's been good, but it's been challenging, obviously. It's challenging to do the work, let's be honest. And this is a constant theme for me. Maybe you can relate, I don't know. Where like, I'll hold, maybe it's just kind of a Scorpio kind of trait or something, but like, I'll hold on to people like in my heart or in my mind from my past. You, Rick. Thank you. And I will, you know, like, it'll be hard to let go of them. And it's like, we can look at other people and be like, okay, well, why won't you just let that person go? And it's because it's familiar. Even if someone hurt you, right? It's like, well, it's still familiar. They're still a person. We still have feelings for people, even if they hurt us, which is, yeah, sucks. And I was, you know, I've always had kind of issues letting go of these people, and it's like, well, why? I don't know. Maybe I have a trauma bond, or maybe that pain is just familiar, right? And it's intense. Is it love? Not necessarily, but it's just intense, and it's almost like these people are a drug. And this has been a constant recurring theme in my life. And at the same time, I have this, it's not as bad anymore, but I used to really fall into fantasies about people. I would kind of create stories about them in my head. Or like, say you meet someone and you fall in love with them. You just, there's something about them, you recognize aspects of yourself. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this person does this. I do that. And maybe you run with that, and it's like you feel all these emotions. Maybe they're a soulmate, and you feel triggered and inspired, and it's not triggered in a good way, like you're activated. And maybe you just hold on to that instead of actually getting to know the person. And maybe there's a truth to that, like maybe there's a truth to your soul connection, but maybe the other person is not there. Maybe the other person can't see you in that way. Maybe they're not experiencing the same thing. And so it's like we have to recognize when to let go of these fantasies, and when to stop offering love to these people who don't actually love us back. Like, this has been such a constant theme. You know, why am I devoting my energy and my love toward this person who's actually not with me in my daily life? Because it's easier to just love a fantasy, right? Often it's like, oh well, this person who I only see once in a while, so they show me their best self and I show them my best self, and it just seems to be this perfect relationship. It's not reality. Real love takes work, real relationships take work, and a lot of people are polyamorous because they don't want to put in, no judgment, but a lot of people, like, they don't want to put in the work to be in an actual relationship. It actually takes a lot of self-work to be able to offer your heart in that way to someone else, and people just, I don't know, they don't want to do it anymore. People are really selfish, you know, including me at times. But what was I saying? No, just like ranting. El Rashid, hi. That's a good position. Let's fix the So yeah, that's been a constant theme in my life, learning to let go. And it's hard because it's like, these feelings you're feeling are real. These feelings that you're feeling are real. They're not coming from someone else though. Another person is activating them or triggering them. No one's making you feel love. The love is coming from within. And so it's great. It's like, oh, this person, I feel so much love around them. Like, you have access to that love all the time, and they're not responsible for that. You allowed yourself to feel that. And so sometimes we give our power away and we think like, oh, this person is responsible for the love I feel, and it's like they become that drug. But the love's from within. And I think that's what this song is mostly about. Easy When You're High. It's the 5th song. It's the throat chakra. It's Mercury. It's a sidetrack song. I think it's about learning to differentiate fantasy from reality, but also recognizing that these soul connections are real. But not everybody's ready to meet you on that level. And sometimes you can't be with certain people in this life. Like, there's so many times where I've fallen for people that I just could not be with. Maybe they're too young, or maybe they have a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, whatever. Maybe they're just not ready to meet me on that level. And it wouldn't be a loving thing to be like, hey, don't you see, I love you. It'd be kind of abusive to be like, hey, be with me, when they're not ready. And so it's about recognizing that your emotions are valid and these soul connections are real, but we can get carried away and we can create fantasies out of these real feelings and real connections. And then we can give our energy to people who don't see us, who aren't really worthy of us, who just see a portion of us. And we don't really know what these people fucking think of us. We're just creating this illusion in our head. So it's about releasing. And the main chorus in the song, letting go. What is it? Let me think for a second. Letting go doesn't have to be goodbye. Loving me is easy when you're high. So we can let go of our pain, we can let go of our attachments without actually physically leaving all the time. We can do the inner work. And then loving me is easy when you're high. I think that was about my partner, and it's like, well, I'm so much. Maybe you can only love me when you're high. Or on another perspective, I was thinking about this today. I had to really think about it. Usually I know the meaning of my songs, but this one was kind of trippy and weird. And I just wrote it and forgot about it. And it's like, well, it's easy to love all those people when you're high, right? It's easy to love our fantasies. It's easy to get carried away by fantasy and like get dragged into these other realms and get lost and forget what actual love is, forget what doing the actual work of being in a relationship is. It's easy to love a fantasy. It's not real though. I mean, even if a part of it is, even if that soul connection's there, like, is the person actually loving you? Are you actually like living together and going through the daily motions? No. So, I mean, I think that's the overall theme. And I was really like upset yesterday, and I was like crying my eyes out, just realizing this has been a theme for so much of my life. This intense ability to feel and love others so deeply and have them not return it. And it's not like that hasn't happened to me too, but as a deep feeler, as an empath, it's just been, and as someone who sees people like spiritually, like really looks inside them, and it's hard to not have it be reciprocated. Woe is me. So yeah. That's that song. It's a Psytrance song. That's one of the new ones. The last three, so for the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra, Metsutin Kaya. Thank you. The last few songs are the new releases. The next song in the Alchemy album, oh, my legs hurt so much, is I'm Waiting for the Moon. This is an invocation for Shiva, who's the destroyer, like destroyer of the ego, death and rebirth. It's very much like Scorpio energy. And it's distillation in alchemy, which means we're kind of refining ourselves even more. We put ourselves through this strength testing and testing, and we're refining ourselves even more to get ready for this spiritual evolution. And this is a song I made a long time ago. I think I was probably in Winnipeg. I think I was in Winnipeg, and either I had just come back from Asia with my ex-fiance, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Winnipeg. I was filled with a lot of anxiety. I was like, I don't know what to do, and I was calling on Shiva to help me release this pain. And yeah, it turned out to be a really good song. I wasn't using MIDI controllers or anything, synthesizers. I was just using samples, and everything I used this microphone. I just, yeah. It turned out to be, it was really good though. It was like jazzy stuff, but I mixed it myself. I didn't really have an ear, and then I had it remastered for the release. So, yeah. I think I made it in Winnipeg. I might have made it here. Anyway, I used to also make music in bed a lot. I would just like be in bed, like making music. That was so fun. And then the last song in the Alchemy EP, Hungry Ghost, November 19th. My name is Psyberfairy. Is the title track, Hungry Ghost, and it's for the level of the sun. Shiva is for the level of the moon, by the way. I'm Waiting for the Moon is the level of the moon. The last song is for the sun, and it's the highest exaltation. It's called coagulation in alchemy. And so we break apart and we build ourselves back up, and this is like the spiritual apex. We're connected to source, to God, whatever, to the universe, and the sun is the highest exaltation, the highest sphere. Kenku, thank you. And I talked about this on my YouTube. You can go check it out, about what a hungry ghost is, and it's essentially, it's a kind of a Tibetan Menar. Thank you. It's a Tibetan, Chinese, like Buddhist term for the spirit who is like so driven by their emotions. They're like so greedy, right? And upon death, they're still like crawling around like hungry and desirous, but they're so skinny, they're emaciated, but their bellies are really swollen, but they can never get full. And so it's, people leave food out them for festivals and stuff like that. I thought the concept was interesting because I think I was probably, you know, like singing about people in my life who are just users. And it's not like I haven't been that way. We all kind of do it unconsciously sometimes. I was dating this other musician. This is also about me. I'm like Taylor Swift. I just write about my breakups in weird ways. My traumas, like, but you know, it's interesting. It's my truth. It's cathartic for me. So yeah, I was going out with this musician, and we were friends for a long time. He's like a rapper, and I was like, I don't think we should do this. I don't want to lose you as a friend, but we did end up doing it. We got together a couple times, and he was like, he always goes on Twitter, and he was just like ranting. He was like not ranting, but like just kind of making a joke about sex on Twitter. And I was like, I didn't realize how much it bothered me, but then I was like really kind of bothered by it. I should have just said that, but I was having a bad day, and I just kind of blew up at him on text, and I was like, you know, you don't have the capacity to feel, or something like that. It was really mean, and he got so mad, and he was like, we were text fighting, and he like yelled at me out and called me out on the phone. I was like, oh my god, like it was awful. But he was younger. He was dealing with a lot of, you know, darkness and addiction issues. Obviously, like, yeah. Anyway, I've been in the opposite situation before. It always comes back. It's so funny. But yeah, he's like, you had no right to say that. And I was like, actually, I just kind of, yeah, that's just what came out. I'm sorry. It was a really harsh way of saying it, but like, he was using drugs. He wasn't offering me actual love and respect. He was like he was telling me like, I was seeing how you could fit into my life. And I hate when guys do that. They're like, oh yeah, you fit all my boxes. Like you can fit into my life. That's not love. Love is, how can I offer you something? What can I offer you, right? Not like, what can you give me? So self-serving demons, not interested. But yeah, I was working out some traumas, I guess. It was this trauma bond. It was really, really intense. And I was like, I went crazy from it, like, as you sometimes do, just momentarily. Like, I got over it. We fought for so long. We don't talk anymore. I hope he's doing well, though. Like, I hope he's not, like, super mad at me, because I don't really deserve it. I just said one mean thing, and I triggered him. He says he wasn't triggered, but he says he wasn't triggered, but he totally was triggered. It's like, you can't lie to me. Why was I going out with someone younger than me? I don't know. I didn't want to, but he was like, let's do it. I was like, okay. When someone says something that's true in some way that you haven't processed, like you're hiding from it in some way, like, but you know deep down that it's true, like, you're gonna get hurt. And he was like kind of trying to tell me, like, you hurt me so much, and I was trying to tell him, like, no, I didn't. I said something that was mean, sure, but you're the way you're responding, like, this is not just me who's hurting you, like, this is something that you're processing. I was trying to, he was like, you're gaslighting me, and I'm like, no, like, I'm just trying to explain myself, and it just turned into this whole situation. But yeah, I'm sure we're friends, spiritual friends on like the higher realms, and we just kind of triggered each other and helped each other grow. So I don't have any harsh feelings, but like, you know, when someone's not on your level, not like oh, you like, just in their awakening, kind of. Obviously he was younger than me, but he's an old soul. He just had issues. I mean, I did too. I'm not exempt from my issues, but I kept trying to tell him, like, women are going to be volcanic. Women are crazy. Like, our emotions are illogical, and that's not an excuse for us to abuse men, but men do. They have the responsibility to learn how to be strong and hold space for women during those times, because that's their role. And you can fight me on that all you want, or be like, yeah, well, there's different genders and stuff like that, but yeah, these are the whatever. These are the divine aspects, right, that I'm talking about, that I think we're kind of forgetting with all these weird expressions. Love freedom of expression, but I think sometimes we do forget about the responsibility we have. And I just try to remind people of that. Okay. So, yeah, that's the title track. And I'm sure it wasn't just inspired by him. It was just like the culmination of all of these experiences, and just realizing there's certain people in your life that are just hungry ghosts. They're just people who want to use you and feed off of you because they're not creating light for themselves, right? They're unconscious about it. They're like, they want to sleep with you. Why? They want to slay you. They want to fucking like put a notch on their belt. Why? To feed their ego, to take your light, to give you their pain. They're not trying to offer you anything. They're not trying to love you. They're just trying to take from you, and it's sick. And so that's kind of what this album's about. This EP is about, like, learning how to rise above that within yourself too. Like, don't abuse yourself. Like, stop taking yourself and your own heart for granted. Like, honor yourself. Like, love yourself. Do the work to like connect to yourself and recognize you have so much light within you. Like, you need to share that light with the world. The world needs that light. And it just gets hard to remember that, because Earth is so dense, right? Like, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Thanks. I love my tattoo too. Mama Leo Kuratni. Thank you for the follow. 1 second. Bo, thank you for the follow. It just gets really hard to remember that we are beings of light. And you just want to help people. I mean, I'm so emotional, sorry. You want to help people out of their darkness. You try and you try. But some people aren't ready to heal. And it's painful. But what can you do, you know? Other than just love them and let them go until they're ready to meet you with compassion, right? With a sense of dignity for themselves and their own life, so they can offer that to you. So yeah, on a lighter note, that's what the album's about. Um, it's about rising up into a higher truth. Atlee, thank you. Into a higher truth, a higher perspective, into the sun, into your divinity, into your divine light, and not just like spiritual love and light, the bullshit that people promote because they haven't done the shadow work and they're afraid of their own darkness, or they're afraid of their own shadow. Like, I want to create a community of true, like, love, truth warriors, like angels, not just people who are like, you have to be love and light. Like, no, just be honest. Just be good. Just express your heart. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get mad. It's just all okay. So yeah, I wanted to talk about also the people who helped me with this project too. The EP is called Hungry Ghost. My name is Psyberfairy, just like on Twitch. You can find me on everywhere. I love being on Instagram. Please follow my Instagram. It's not as active as it used to be. Like, people just lurk on my stories. Like my posts, comment to me. I want to talk to you guys. And I'm always on YouTube and stuff like that too. Yeah. You can find it. You can search for it. Yeah. I just want to create a community of people who are just ready to love, and not like spiritual hippy dippy love, like actual just truth. Yeah. Spiritual hippy dippy stuff is okay too, though. So yeah, my collaborators, I produced all of the songs on the EP. I had people help me mix them. I had a local producer, Alazion, help me mix and master quite a lot of the songs. Let's just go through them. So Throne, I produced, Alazion mixed and mastered. Soulmate, I produced and mixed because it was an old song. So I had someone called Dan Konopka. He's actually from the band OK Go. You know that video when they're on the treadmills? I don't know, it was a popular band before. I didn't know he was in that band, but he was a drummer from that band. He remastered it and added some little extra stuff to it. Wanna Go Fast, I produced Alazion. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but you can look him up on Spotify as well. Thank you. He mixed and mastered that. Wind, how the Wind Blows, I mixed, I produced that. Alazion mixed and mastered it. It's just like the final little editing and making it better for the radio, right? I'm Waiting for the Moon, I produced that and I mixed it. Well, I didn't really like mix it, but I just made it when I was like younger, and Alazion kind of remastered it and just made it better. And then Hungry Ghost, I produced, Alazion mixed and mastered it. So I want to give a credit to people who deserve it. And what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, okay. So I'm kind of talking about this because I really like this eclipse season especially has made me really think about what I want to be doing here on the planet. It's like so serious. I was a spiritual teacher for all of my 20s, and I talked about like aliens and meditation and stuff. I don't even know what I was talking about. Healing, I was dealing with my own trauma and like trying to help people. I did life coaching, I did astrology, I did so much stuff. And now I just want to do music. And so I made this decision to kind of put that work away. I was like kind of like dragging it along, and I just, this eclipse that we just had in Taurus, a full moon, I was like, okay, it's time just to let go of the stuff. It's like you're beating a dead horse. It's dead. Just let it die. And so I had this major like shift in my perspective, and I was like, okay, I want to just focus on my music and my art and my writing and just do art. Like, that's what I want to do. And I got this message to do a concert. I've been wanting to do a concert for a long time, but I really thought it would be a great idea to do this epic like EP release party. So I'm gonna host a concert in Vancouver, BC. I don't know if any of you are around there, but if you are, if you can make it, if you can come hang out with me, it's gonna be in December, probably like mid-December. I'm gonna rent a hall. I'm gonna have some bands play, and we're just gonna have like a big celebration. I'm really excited, and since it's an alchemy, like an album that takes you through takes you through the levels of alchemy, it's gonna be like a ritual, magical performance, and I'm gonna get people to come up on stage and like help me with props and things like that. So it's gonna be really fun, and yeah, I need kind of help. Let's just leave it at that. I need help. Anyway, I do art. I'll show you some of my art if you guys are interested. I paint, and these are some of my paintings. You can get prints on my website, Psyberfairy.com. You can go to art, and these are like a bunch of prints. I like to paint goddesses. I like to paint gods and goddesses and things like that, and just like powerful deities and like beasts and creatures and nature, and yeah, so go check it out. It was a new piece I did. I really like this piece, but I use resin on it, and it's still drying. It's like really hard to work with resin. I don't know if you've ever worked with it. So yeah, go check that out. I also have t-shirts available if anyone is interested in supporting my art and helping me fund this concert and helping me get out this light for the world. This is gonna be the Hungry Ghost t-shirt. And it's kind of like the logo, like the design. I designed it like as a digital art. And it's on the cover of the EP, and it's supposed to like connect you to your star family basically. And yeah, here, I'll show you. 1 second. I have it here. I actually haven't shown anyone yet, but this is the shirt I designed for it. Isn't it cool? I like it. So if you want to support me, you can order a shirt or an art print. How much are they? Let's see. The shirts are $44, so it's Canadian, so that's kind of decent. I also have, if you go to my art section on my site, I have this link here, and you can click on it, and you can basically be taken to this little boutique I have. So with my paintings, I also have shirts and like pants and kimonos and things like that. And yeah, if you want to support me, you're more than welcome to order something. These ones are really affordable though, like prints are $33, shirts are $44. So if you want to check out my shirt, definitely do that. Anyway, just wanted to tell you about my art, because it's really meaningful to me. It really it's how I just understand myself. It's how I don't know why I feel like people, like, how do people not create art? That's what I wonder. It's like, if I don't create art, I feel like dead inside. I'm like, I guess other people have other ways of processing their emotions. I just have so many emotions. I feel so deeply. I'm like, I need to write a song to process this, or I need to paint because I'm just so overwhelmed. So maybe it's just my own maybe my own inability to like process my emotions, or maybe, I don't know. It's just how I've always dealt with my emotions. And actually thinking about it now, it's almost like, I don't know, when I was younger, I was really like suppressed a lot and abused and like told to shut up a lot. It's like so awful. And I think I kind of dissociated and went into other worlds, and like drawing was like a place, and writing and stuff like that. I didn't really do music a lot when I was younger. I did more drawing and writing. I did it when I was older because I thought I wasn't musical, and I was still like scared of my voice and my own power, I guess. and I would just escape into these other worlds, and it was just a way I could cope. I don't know if you guys do art, but yeah. That was a long Twitch. This was a really, really, really long Twitch stream, but I really needed to get it out. Oh, I'll show you the cover. 1 second. It's really cool. I think it's cool anyway. Oh, that's not good. 1 second. Okay, I'll show you the cover. Isn't that cool? Oh, why is that like that? I wanted it to look kind of like a retro, I don't know, like CD cover, like with advisories and stuff like that. So yeah, the logo from the shirt is on the cover. I like old sci-fi kind of stuff. A lot of my music is kind of retro. I always like to be like a mixture of old and new, and I'm just trying to balance everything. I'm always trying to like find harmony and bring harmony into the world. So yeah, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your suggestions. They're so sweet. Little fuckers. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Please go check out my music. You can do that by going to my Spotify. You can also go to my YouTube, where I post a lot of music videos and, you know, content and chats and stuff like that. And my Instagram is Psyberfairy. So yeah, thank you so much. Who knows, if you guys keep hanging out with me, we might get that inflatable pool and beach ball going. Okay. I think that's it for now. I'm sending you lots of love. Peace.